All right, we're gonna start the 5-speed swap on the CRV. Gonna quickly go over what I bought to get this thing rolling. Let's do it. This Jack Spiana Racing. Gotta do a quick shout out to this guy, this company. They actually provided this for me. This is a pretty cool looking billet unit here. Shifter cables, got some axle seals, slave cylinder, reservoir. I got 2 reservoirs actually, just in case that one leaks. Intermediate shaft from a manual, clutch line for this slave cylinder, axle seals. I don't know if I said that. OEM clutch with the bolts. Okay, this thing has all the bolts and stuff like that. Clutch pedal, gas pedal, brake pedal. Passenger side new axle. I'm pretty sure that the driver's side, from what I can tell, will work. Manual T-bracket, and of course the trans. Alright, I got pretty much everything on eBay. This is the easiest place to get it. Not the cheapest, but the easiest. Came with the slave. It came with the starter too. You're going to need a manual starter. Of course, everything's cut. It did not come with the manual transmission bracket. Alright, so I also got a manual trans ECU. It's somewhere on the counter over there. I don't think I need it right away to get it running. I don't have the harness. I don't have the cluster. I'm pretty sure I can get it running without that. If you're wondering about this transmission jack, it's just some cheap one I picked up on Harbor Freight, but it makes things so much easier. These transmissions are not light. Oh. There we go, auto trans. And now it's time to go after the T-bracket. Go ahead and yank this guy out. It's either here or here. There needs to be more clearance for the trans. And my transmission mount is broken also. Right now is the time to go ahead and change it because T-bracket is kind of a super pain in the ass to get out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stop, order that mount before I go any further. It's super hot in the garage. It's a good time for it anyway because I'm super tired. And we'll jump back on as soon as I get that mount. So originally I was going to use the clutch that came with the trans. I installed it and everything, but it's because I didn't want to spend $300 on a new clutch. But I started watching some review videos on the eBay clutches. So we're doing the eBay clutch instead. The XTD clutch. The reviews on YouTube were actually pretty good. This is just a stage 2. Most of the reviews were on stage 3. And nobody had any complaints. Like people were talking about like taking them to drift events and stuff. And they hold up pretty well supposedly. But yeah, it comes with a throw bearing tool. And pilot bearing. And then the plates down here. XTD. And got the new Chinese rear transmission mount. This is the perfect time to go ahead and do the axle seals. They can be kind of hard to do when they're up in the car, so just like a few bucks, and I got some new seals. They are different on each side of the trans, so you got to make sure you put the right one in the right spot, but they're not too bad. So this is kind of a bummer. The aftermarket headers I have now hit the output for the all-wheel drive right there. So they're not gonna work. So it looks like the factory header is going to clear the output shaft, which is good, except I've run into a little problem with my custom exhaust over there. It's a little bit too long to be able to put the factory cat back on, so I'm going to have to modify that later on or buy a cat back. Alright, I had to do a little bit of work right here on top of the trans before we run the shifter cables. The starter wire, the power supply, was long enough where it reached. The trigger wire wasn't, had to extend that. The reverse switch plugged right into the automatic wiring, no problem with that. The speed sense wire, a harness down there, or sensor, is way down there, it plugged right in. Now you're gonna have to go ahead and deal with the neutral safety switch, which is located in the harness right here. It's a gray wire, you just have to ground it. So what I did is I just took the harness off the automatic trans and took the gray wire and I grounded it right where the factory grounds are, and I'll just plug this in right here. There was a bracket here I got rid of, the hydraulic line I got rid of. I kind of want to keep this area kind of clean because these cables move all this around. I don't know really how jumbled up it's going to get. But yeah, that's not too bad. That came out a lot cleaner than I thought it was going to be. Just reuse that OEM ground that was right here too. Looks good. Before I get to the shifter cables, I got to clean this car out because it's been sitting here for a long time. And since I've owned it for like 2 years, I've never cleaned it out. And it is full of, there's like LS parts, baby shoes, just trash. It's pretty much been storage since I've owned it, and you know, I've never cleaned it out since I bought it from. It would have been easier just to take the column all the way out, but the intermediate shaft is kind of a piece of shit when it comes to disconnecting it, because there's a rubber boot and all kinds of shit, so I have to fight it out. You might be wondering why change out the gas pedal on the brake pedal. Well, the manual one, the brake pedal is half as big, as you can tell right there. So it gives you room for the clutch pedal. Hopefully this one goes in a little easier because the pedal's smaller. Okay, so with an automatic, it'll only let you take the key out if you have it in park, and we need to disable that feature because the key will get stuck in it because we're manual now, and it's basically going to be this plug right here, and all you got to do is unplug it and that feature will be gone. Hello! If you don't have one of these, you need to buy one of these. These things are awesome. Okay, well, I got to a stopping point with the car last weekend. That's with the shifter and the exhaust. Yesterday I was kind of messing with the shifter, and I ran into a little issue with it. This thing looks really cool, but I'm going to end up having to use the factory shifter because I can't figure out the mounting point for this cable here. I've even tried using factory cables because the aftermarket cables were giving me problems with this bracket right here. I'm not going to just waste a bunch of time talking about it. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. But I'll figure it out. As far as the exhaust goes, got a universal test pipe kit. It's like a slip fit test pipe kit that you can kind of adjust the sizes. I do need to modify the flange because the flange is too big, so I'm going to end up welding these holes up and re-drilling them. It's just way too big. This is actually too big too, but I got a gasket that will fit it. Still need to align this thing real quick, and then I should be able to go and drive it. Getting close.